What's up? You know what time it is. From the forum, week 6. Look, if you've been losing, it's time to right the ship. If you've been winning, we got to keep that train rolling. Pop in and ask your fantasy questions tonight on the show, and we will see you live. What's up? What's up, everybody? Friday night. I'm tweaking out because I missed last week, and I'm here and I'm excited. I was sick last week. Yeah, I know it was rough. And now I'm back. I'm excited, ready to get at it. You know, Steve, Ohio State fan, right?
Florida State.
Oh, Florida State.
I come from an Ohio State family, though, so you weren't far off.
Well, so you know, the big narrative was JSN versus Egbuka, and they both lit it up. That game was exciting. What's your thoughts? There's people talking about Egbuka like he could be the next Jamar Chase. Are you buying that heavy?
No, not at all. Not at all. Listen, he's doing well. He's doing better than I thought he would. But I think we need to temper expectations a little bit, that a lot of what he's doing is coming off of busted plays, busted coverages. It's worrisome in the similar sense that I was worried about Ladd McConkey and Brian Thomas Jr. A lot of what he's doing isn't like highly sustainable in an offense that isn't feeding him the ball. We're watching Baker Mayfield make a lot of plays. Like, he's kind of just chucking up these like prayers, and they're just falling into his hands right now. If that stops or slows down or regresses to the mean, along with his touchdown percentage, we're going to be having a very different conversation about Egbuka, and he's going to wind up being Brian Thomas Jr. 2.0 if people aren't careful.
I don't know. One significant difference between those two is Brian Thomas Jr. apparently forgot he had hands. And we're catching with arms, we're catching with bodies, we're trying to catch it in the elbow. Egbuka is catching the ball out here, and that's exciting. Not a ton of body catching. Johnny Man, I see two things in your background. I see the terrible towel, and I see a little blue and white. So it makes me think there's a little bit of maybe a little bit of the Steelers, maybe a little bit of the Star. And in that vein, your boy George Pickens gets shipped out, changes to Dak throwing to him, and all of a sudden we're talking ball. What's up?
Yeah, man, George Pickens was a guy, man, I was all the way in on last year, planting my flag on him, and I was a year early, but I still have him in a lot of leagues, and he's balling out, going to continue to do the same thing while CeeDee Lamb's on the shelf. And as far as the Steelers go, man, looks like DK Metcalf is getting all the work there, man. So that's also another good situation. I would never root for the Dallas Cowboys. It's just the old Waverly Tigers back there in the background, man. You know what I mean? So that's what that is, bro. But
there ain't no joy in it. They ain't like, oh, at least he went to my Cowboys and balling out. It's just all straight like, dadgummit, why couldn't he have done that in Pittsburgh?
It wouldn't happen. It never would have happened.
I had a couple people in the chat. Britt Bradford, what's up, crew? Matthias and Steve, you not a hat guy? Look, I appreciate you changing it up. I can do it too. Hold on. What's up? No hat. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? Like, I'm in my 30s, and this hairline ain't flinched 1 inch. You know what I mean? So I'm not one to cover it up. Like, if I got it, I'm rocking it, and
it must be nice,
right?
I come from a bald family. Like, I come from a bald family. So this was, I believe the universe lets you have like one thing that you really, if your heart truly desires it, it will come true. And I really didn't want to go bald, but I paid for it, and so like there's consequences to that. But I'll take the hair.
Got Albert. What's up, fellas? Thanks for tuning in, Albert. All right, guys. It's From the Forum Friday night. This is your Q&A show, so drop the questions in the chat. We're gonna try to get to those as quick as we can. Share out the link. Bring your friends in. Hit the subscribe button. Let's talk ball. So starting us off, we got Matthias, and Matthias always showing up. Appreciate you. Darnold or Stafford this week? Steve, you had the instant reaction. Was that like a reaction of, oh crap, I hate that question? Or
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's tough. It's tough because I like when there's an obvious answer, right? And because it can fluctuate. I'm leaning Stafford, I think. I just don't know why. And
I
it's
can
more
tell
just
you why,
like
because Baltimore's defense is absolute dog water right
it might be
Talk it,
that
baby.
like
Talk it.
it's more like just that sense that like Puka Nacua might set the receptions record for a single game
He
this
might set
week.
the season record on Sunday.
Yeah, like this could be a real game, or it turns into such a blowout that like Stafford's on the bench by the middle of the third.
yeah. Well, and here's the other part of the conversation that's really wild. So week 6, Seattle, Darnold goes up against Jacksonville. And there's this world where nobody was sitting here going, okay, Baltimore is going to be in the bottom half of the league of defenses. And Jacksonville is going to be the number 1 defense in fantasy right now. Freaking and they've played. I mean, granted, first 2 games, Carolina, Cincinnati, but they had Houston, they had San Francisco. Last week they had Kansas City. They're playing pretty good.
I mean, Kansas City's a pretty juicy matchup right now for any defense. It seems like they're not a terribly
Well, they're one-dimensional. They have no run game at all. So you cover Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce's too busy getting songs written about you-know-whats. And what else do you
well.
have to cover?
They're one dimensional because I don't. This is one of the few times I've ever disagreed with Andy Reid so strongly on how he's coaching. But running out, like honestly, at this point, if you threw Kareem Hunt in like water, he'd sink because his shoes are filled with cement. He's so slow. Like it's unbelievable. Like this man, like I can't watch another plotting thing and like. It's just infuriating because you watch Pacheco. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, so did Scadaboo and like all these guys. Like, you can stumble into a touchdown. Like, it doesn't take talent to score touchdowns. Jamal Williams was a top 10 touchdown scorer. He's not good. That doesn't make you good. It just makes you, heavy. Like,
Makes you heavy.
Big bag.
Oh my god.
Big bag. Oh, that's awful.
I can't do it with this. Like, I think Pacheco should be getting 15 to 20 touches in that offense every game right now.
I just want to see more Rashard Smith because every time
sir.
he gets it, especially out in space, it looks good. You know what? You know what hurts Pacheco? Let me tell you why Pacheco is not as good as
He
he
runs like a
could be.
Scooby-Doo character.
Well, partially, he has no patience. He has no patience. He just wants to run up in that hole as hard as he can and try to battle through, but he's tiny. You got to have patience. You look at Rachaad White last week. You look at Rachaad White follow those blockers, or it was last week or week before last.
Yeah.
I mean, just smooth with it. Like Le'Veon Bell was not an amazing like break tackle, find space guy. He just followed the blocks well, and Pacheco just doesn't do that. He's like no patience. He's like, I just gotta get in the hole. Gotta get in the hole.
Last week after getting his helmet ripped off, like that is all you need to know about Isaiah Pacheco.
Hey Joe, your volume on your mic is pretty low. You may have to see if you can crank that up. All right. So are we Darnold or Stafford? Hit it real quick so we can keep moving.
Stafford. For me. Stafford.
All right. So seems like it's Stafford across the board. Tyler Sperry, Romeo Dobbs, or Kendrick Bourne this week.
Can I get a mic check real quick? Is this better?
A little bit. Maybe keep cranking it up just a tad.
I don't know.
Johnny, you want the Dobbs or you want the Bourne?
I'm taking Romeo Dobbs. The guy who's been on since the preseason for sure in Cincinnati. I think you can pick whatever way like you want to beat those guys for sure. And I think like with what happened last weekend with Dallas, or 2 weekends ago with Dallas with Green Bay, I think this is a really good get right spot for Romeo Dobbs. I think it's a get right spot for the Green Bay Packers for sure. He's touchdown heavy, but still though I like him in that situation. Even though Mac Jones is playing really good in that Tampa Bay game, could be a shootout for sure. So that's a really good that's a good problem to have, Tyler, is what I would tell you.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve?
I'm gonna go Kendrick Bourne. He did a great job last week. He was a monster. I don't see a reason why he couldn't do it again. I don't think there's anyone else to throw to right now other than like Christian McCaffrey. But Mac Jones, the thing we got to remember about backup quarterbacks, and this happens a lot, and we panic a bit when backups come in is that they tend to lock onto their number one target, right? Like because they're not given the keys to the kingdom. So they're going to just kind of lock in and throw at their first read. And that's going to be Kendrick Bourne because everyone else is kind of out.
All right, got a couple people. Haywood, y'all. I'm not gonna mess that up. Yes, sir. Dubes. Good evening, Dobbs. Good evening, fellas. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button.
No, that's not a mess up. That is like one of those names that's like you say
Your
it out loud.
volume's here now, Joe.
Is that better? Am I
It's
too loud?
so much better. You were like, and now you're like, whoa, I'm here.
We
Yeah,
talked
you
about it before. We talked about it before the show. Having an 8-month-old that like goes completely like ninja monkey on your setup is just not good.
Yeah. He had just had a little Michael Jackson-ish.
All right, Jacob over on Twitch. Should I flex Bill or pick up Bourne and flex him instead?
Okay. So Washington is playing Chicago this week. I think if you are into like the DFS stuff, it's tough because it's not in the main slate because it's a Monday game. But that has all the makings of a shootout. I think Rome's going to have a big game. Chicago's given up 33.1 points in the last 3 weeks to running backs. He got over 50% of the touches. I think people are going to be reserved because of what happened with Woody Marks last week. We heard all of this stuff about Woody's the guy. Woody's going to be doing this. Full Wood ahead. And then he got, 2 points? And everybody was like, damn. But it's got all the signs pointing to Bill. They're still banged up in the backfield. You got Jaden Daniels back, which is going to lighten the boxes a bit. Bourne does have that good appeal. He has the chemistry with Mac Jones, but I will say that out of the two, Tampa Bay is a better passing option. You don't want to run against Tampa Bay, so they're going to have to throw the ball, but it's such a juicy matchup in that Monday night game. Give me Bill.
Yeah, I think to your point, man, with Bill, with Jaden Daniels being there, 82 yards and 111 yards for him. So I think like obviously the offense looks like a lot different when he's there. It's just a different dynamic. And I think like for me, Bill's definitely the play.
Yeah, I mean, especially looking at the context of the roster, you know, you're pretty strong at running back with Bijan, Genty. You know, you've got Igbuka and JSN at the wide receivers. Like, you know, if you're flex, like I don't even feel like you need to, you know, I guess I might grab Bourne just to have him on the roster, but go ahead, Steve.
I have a question. Why is this man starting Drake May over Justin Fields?
I seen a weird stat like about not weird, but I seen a stat today about the Denver Broncos, and they haven't allowed 15 yards rushing to any quarterback the entire season. So maybe he's just thinking about that. Justin
Have
Fields
they
is
played
outside
anyone
the
who
shot.
runs like? I mean, this is Justin Fields though. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I have May ranked above Fields this week. I have May at 9 and Fields at 13.
May's also
at
playing New Orleans.
13.
He's playing
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Big pace up.
This is like his highest projection of like projected points on the season out of his games.
But Fields has done it. Like we've seen him do this week over week.
I could see the debate, man. I could see it going either way. It's not like Drake May's slouch, and he's averaging like 2 touchdowns
I'm from Boston,
a game.
by the way, so I'm saying this as like a homer. Like Justin Fields is far and away the better option. I feel like it's not like that Patriots offense is like humming. I
mean, Drake May's put up last week he had a down week, but he's had 23 of the last 4 weeks, 26, 20.2, 23.2. So it's not like he's been struggling. He's got the connection going with Diggs. He also is a running threat as well. He's not the level of Justin Fields, but Justin Fields is a garbage time king. He's basically the Black Blake Bortles. Like he doesn't come in until the fourth quarter. If you look at his stats in the first 3 quarters,
will like Joe, you and I are about to fight because that narrative is such trash. Like it's not Justin Fields' fault that the coaching staff doesn't know how to call a game until the last 8 minutes of a game. Like it is run.
No, it's not. But it's the fact that it's been 4 coaching staffs and it's been the same story. He's 0-26 when his team score over less. If the opposing team scores more than 21 points, he's never won a game.
Right, but what is the average score of that? Because like they pull that number 21. but I bet the average score in those games is like of the opposing team is like 28, 29, 30 points. Like they're not just putting up like some points. Like most of the times when he loses that game, I looked at it, he scores over 21 points as well. It's just like, it's not like he's being shut out in all these games. Like he can only put up 16 points.
Well, there's some hype going for May in the chat. May is better than Fields. May equals Josh.
Well, here's the thing. You're talking real life versus fantasy. Like, even though me and Steve may disagree on the rankings this week, like Fields, the floor from the rushing upside is there. So if you're thinking like dynasty, yes, obviously you're going to want May over Fields because once this Jets contract is up, he's probably not going to be starting anywhere else. But if you're talking in a redraft format or in a format where you get any sort of upside for rushing 4-point passing touchdowns, then Fields is a cheat code. Fields is my my QB6 on the season because I believe in that rushing upside. So I don't think that it's a matter of like understanding football. It's just how much are you willing to bet that he can do it this week? I just don't like the matchup this week, but that doesn't mean Steve is very knowledgeable. So I don't feel
it could go either way. You definitely have a high ceiling with Justin Fields. He's had over almost 30 points in each of his games, except for now granted that was Pittsburgh, Miami, and Dallas, give
it up.
When he played Buffalo, it was his weakest game. And so I could see the matchup call, but there's still a high ceiling there. It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. You're going to get more of a decent floor with Drake May, I feel like. But, I mean, you're maybe talking about 5 points difference if Fields has a good day, I think. Rolling here, Jacob said, wait, is this the show that said trade was bad for me back in week 3? I gave Chase Brown and Bowers to get Genty and Igbuka. One, I would not have told you that.
No one would have said that. Wrong show.
So, wrong show. Keep moving. Make sure I get this. So back up to Matthiason's quarterback question. Darnold, Mac Jones, or Daniel Jones. I don't know how you get away from
Daniel Jones.
Jones right now. Like he just
easily. He's playing Arizona. They're a stout defense. Mac Jones is going to have to throw the ball against Tampa Bay, and he's going to do so. Mac Jones is my QB.
Is he going to have to against Tampa Bay? Isn't everybody out for Tampa?
Bucky, Godwin, and Evans, they're all out. Yeah.
They've been all out for weeks.
Well, Godwin
in some shape, form, or fashion combination. But I agree with you though, Frick. Like Mac Jones, like this is definitely a spot. Every game Tampa Bay is played this year so far, man. Like it's been a shootout every single game, man. And if you're playing DFS, cheap, and even if you're in shallow leagues, like Mac Jones is probably still floating around out there. I like Mac Jones, man. I'm pretty sure he's had a QB8, finished QB5 in 2 of his 3 starts this year, or either like in his last 2 starts, something like that, QB8, QB5. So
it's really interesting because Daniel Jones, like his first 2 weeks, he was a top 7 QB, primarily because he was getting tush pushes into the end zone. He really hasn't had any rushing in the last couple weeks, and he's been like QB15, QB16.
I don't understand what's going on with that either. That's so strange to me.
You would think that Vanilla Vic would be getting some more love on the ground game, but like it just hasn't happened.
A bit, but like I guess that was always the concern, right? Is that Daniel Jones would just turn back into a pumpkin eventually, and
no, say it ain't so. Just kidding. All right, we got to keep moving. We got a bunch of people in the chat. I'm gonna try to get to these questions, guys. As we're rolling through here, we are gonna try to get to your questions. If you're on Twitch, you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, you're chiming in. We are going line by line. If you super chat on YouTube, we will skip to yours directly, and we will try to get to these as fast as we can. Half PPR. You got the new phenom out of San Francisco versus the tribal chief himself. Who you taking, Johnny?
Oh, man. I'm still back in on this 49ers offense, man. Like, this is the place to be, bro. This is the place to be. It's right here. Although I did hear a lot of really good things about David Njoku and Dylan Gabriel as far as just him really peppering the tight ends so far. So, yeah, man.
I think rookies, man, underneath. Yeah. That's why you play Taylor, right? That's why that's it.
Yeah, rookie Justin Fields.
No, never mind. I
thought you were talking about Mason Taylor, who's been on a heater lately.
Yeah, he really has, but he's been crazy good.
Love Mason Taylor. That was one of I grabbed him in like every single dynasty league I was in like the 3rd round. So Glad that that's starting to work out. All right, keep moving. Let's see here. I
8
said,
targets last week for Njoku, by the way.
half PPR, Joe. Who do you have ranked higher, Pollard or Michael Carter?
Yeah, so Michael Carter has a pretty tough matchup this week. In half PPR, Indianapolis has only given up 14.9 points per game. I don't have a lot of confidence in that Arizona offense this week. You got Kyler Murray. They're saying he's going to be banged up with the foot. Tony Pollard is going to see a little bit less work because they got Spears back, but Tennessee going against Vegas. Vegas has struggled against the run a little bit more, 26.7 points per game against running backs. Give me Pollard.
I like it. Let's see. We got Haywood in the chat. We the ones, Tribal Chief. My guy, Johnny, getting some love. Let's see. I missed. There was another person popped in. Nino Pena. What's up, fellas? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you.
Oh, boy.
All right. Getting back into these. Let's see. He's got World of Jesus. How do you feel about JJ's fantasy production when McCarthy comes back? Do you think he goes back to week 1 through 3 form, or does he keep this momentum? This is obviously an important question because we talk about righting the ship, right? Like he's been on a screamer, he's been scoring points. And so if you think with McCarthy back, it's going to be worse, how much of a sell high could JJ be for you in current, especially if you've been depleted, you lost Reek, you lost Malik Neighbors, all these people that are already getting. I mean, if you've lost Omarion Hampton, Najee Harris, I mean, we're taking hits and injuries already. If your box is depleted, JJ's somebody that you could go and you could get several pieces to fill out your roster if you're looking to make that trade. So, you're shaking your head. Yes, Steve. Where are you at on? Do you think the production is going to be there? Do you think it's going to fall off? And what are you doing with JJ right now?
I'm selling because it's not going to be there. We've seen what JJ McCarthy is. And the problem is that he was hurt all of last year and got no reps. Then he comes out, he plays for 3 weeks, gets hurt, and is now he just has no time to develop. His development is not coming along. And we saw what he's going to do as a quarterback is he's going to play it very, very safe, and he's going to take very easy throws. And sometimes with Justin Jefferson, you just have to trust that he's better than the guy that's covering him. But JJ McCarthy isn't a good enough thrower of the football like we saw. Here's the secret with JJ McCarthy that no one wants to talk about. At the college level, if you're an elite thrower of the football, your team will never be like, we're just going to run the ball into oblivion and just keep this guy secret. If he was that good, his head coach would have drafted him, but he didn't.
Real.
That's
so real.
There was all there for him to be he could have done it, right? Could have gotten a haul for Herbert and brought in JJ McCarthy and did all this. And Michigan is wasn't sitting there going whoa, little does anyone know that we have JJ McCarthy sitting here ready to kill him if we need to. If that team had to throw, they were uh-oh, we're in trouble now. That was the MO on McCarthy. He's a game manager. And so that's not going to be great for someone like Justin Jefferson, who relies on, he's so good, but he's hey, you got to trust that I'm going to get this done for you. And McCarthy just doesn't have time yet to develop into someone who can do that.
It's funny. I was a hater of two people going into this season, McCarthy and then Scadaboo. I've completely got egg on my face from that one. He's been completely ball. I mean, whether it's a long-term thing or not, he's taken over that backfield and he's going to have that role at least for this season. Tyrone Tracy is not going to come back and be a piece of that. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that you can sell high. I think the problem is that the average fantasy player is becoming so much more aware of these situations that what value are you going to get? Because if you're selling, they're also having that expectation. So it's it's a really dynamic conversation to have to get the value that you want for it.
I don't think that that's the case. I don't think the average fantasy football player is thinking McCarthy is going to tank. I mean, Matthias in the chat said Jefferson has only scored with McCarthy, and McCarthy has not been throwing it safe. He has slung it. This guy must hate Michigan.
He only throws it to the right side of the field. So
now we got a super chat, so I do got to get to that. So what I'm saying is, it's JJ. And I think if you put JJ on the block, you get a haul, right? Like there's no realm where
Yeah.
somebody goes, "Oh, McCarthy's going to come." Like that's a fantasy analyst thinking deeply into it and trying to project production based on the first 3 weeks. Yeah, that's you, Joe. Like you're in like 50 leagues, you play in the Scott Fish Bowl, it's like
I'm in the top 70 for Scott Fishbowl, so respect me.
right, that's what I'm saying. So okay, coming back to that, but right now, Tyler Perry, thank you for the super chat. You're the bomb. Tyler Sperry, yeah, that's amazing.
I love it.
What was that, Taylor or Tongas this week? While I like Mason Taylor, we talked about that, and I think that he does have upside this week with that matchup being a little bit tougher on Justin Fields. He's going to have to get the ball out, and they've got good corners. So it's going to be a lot of dump offs, I feel like, which does serve Mason Taylor. The thing is, it's hard to get away from Tongas because out of his 3 games, or really out of his 5 games, which of, 3, 4 he's actually started, it's been 3 touchdowns. Like you have a higher upside of a touchdown. You're still looking at probably somewhere between 5 and 9 targets, which is probably where Mason Taylor, you might get 7 to 10 targets with Taylor, but I don't know if he gets in the end zone. Tongas, I think, has a better chance of getting into the end zone, which is why I would roll that way.
I think there was a Tongas or Njoku, and then that was immediately after. So I think this one just kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit. I think they're all very similarly ranked. Like Njoku, Tongas, Mason Taylor, I have them all within 4 spots of each other. I have Njoku, Tongas, Laporta, Taylor, 7 through 10.
So hopefully that got your answer there. The JJ conversation, it sounds like we're a sell. Joe saying maybe you can't sell. Matthiasen says you're crazy if you sell JJ. I just think with a depleted league, right? With a depleted league in injuries so far, and we're only, James Conner, Trey Benson, like they're running the ball with, you got 2 teams that are running the ball with RB4s this season already.
We had a man drop the ball before he got into the end zone, and the team lost the game because of it, and he didn't get cut. That's how injured that backfield is.
Yeah, like you just, and so to me, if I got somebody like JJ1, I've got a staple, but we can get JJ production from somebody else. So, and it's really the name change, right? Like the name, so you could probably take JJ and get a Egbuka, which is crazy. That's crazy, but you could probably do it. You could take JJ and get CD, and because CD's banged up.
I love these conversations because, like, as the chat goes through, everyone will tell me I don't know ball and I don't know this and I don't know that, and they'll cry about it and they'll do their whole thing. And like at the end of the day, I'm just saying what the truth is. Like, I've been right about a lot of these takes. I was told the same thing when I said Chase Brown wasn't going to be good this year. I said the same thing when I said Ladd McConkey wasn't going to be good this year. People want to hear what they want to hear. Like, listen, if you're all in on JJ, then stick with them. That's fine. But like, don't be mad at me when I say, hey, listen, he wasn't a wide receiver 1 with JJ McCarthy at all. It's not going to keep what makes you think like he wasn't showing improvement? He actually got significantly worse and then kind of got this weird random injury out of nowhere that feels an awful lot like hey, take a breather and figure this out.
Yeah, I think like the other part of that too is I think like a lot of people, I know for me, like Kevin O'Connell is just somebody that like I've like trusted just in general with quarterbacks, just with like what he's done. And I think like the one thing like about JJ was during the process, I wasn't a fan, but then he landed in Minnesota and I was like, okay, well maybe this thing can work. And I think to your point, Steve, like now, like after like 2 weeks, it's kind of like, all right, well, this is what I thought he was originally. So, all right, like I think I'm going to have to take a step back, and I've got him in a few leagues, and I think I'm going to have to take a step back with him, man. So.
Yeah, it's tough, and it might be a really complicated system. You know what I mean? That's the other thing. Like a lot of veteran quarterbacks are succeeding under O'Connell, but we've never seen a rookie in his system before.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs is literally a rocket scientist.
Yeah, I mean, like we've never seen like a young player just step in and play this. Like Carson Wentz is looking good, but he's been in the league for 150 years. Like like
my man, cooking.
Like it just is. We just gotta give more time. So sell high.
No, for sure.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All right, keeping rolling. Got Nino Pena in there, full PPR with a big play bonus, 1 running back, 2 flex. Chase Brown, Michael Carter, Harvey, Pacheco, Ellick, and Mason Taylor. Whew.
Whoa.
That's tough.
Whoa.
The one
It's
thing
gotta
I
be Chase
will
Brown.
say, Chase Brown is a tough matchup against Green Bay, but Joe Flacco averages 8 targets per game to running backs. Chase Brown's not going to run any better because Joe Flacco is now the quarterback over
Right.
Jake Browning. But the dump off option versus Jake, my life is so hard because I back up Joe Burrow and they didn't support me Browning is much improved for Chase Brown in a PPR format. That being said, I would probably play Mason Taylor because you're playing Denver. Garrett Wilson is going to get the Sertan Island treatment, and he's basically their wide receiver too.
Yeah. No, I can dig it. And just to even even add more context to that Chase Brown conversation, man. Dylan Sampson, week 1. I don't think any other rookie had like more receptions or something like that right there when he first started the season. So I think that's a really good call with Chase Brown there. And then like Alec Amenor, man, like he's a guy that like I think you could put into this space here, man. Because the Raiders are god awful everywhere, and like Calvin Ridley finally showed up to play ball last week. But Amenor, like he's the guy that like he's getting the work there. So like if you're looking at it just from like through that lens, like I'm okay with playing him in that space too, man.
So we got Chase, Ellick, and then Mason Taylor.
Is there anybody else they're trying to put in there? I think the big play bonus is the piece. Like with you have a better chance of a big play with at least with Ellick and Chase Brown than you do the other. Harvey's possible. Like it's right there on the cusp.
Yeah.
And so that's debatable. But
and then I just want to throw this one out here because we missed it. Mac Jones or Kyler super flex. I would play Mac Jones this week.
Mac Jones, baby. I'm telling you, it's Mac Jones week, baby. I'm with you.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you think the foot injury is legit with Kyler? Do you think he got a little dinged on that snap that hit him right in the face?
You mean the concussion snap? Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
We don't need to get on Kyler. I can't do Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
that guy.
I mean, there's no Call of Duty's coming out this year, so
I always like rushing upside more than I like pocket passers.
Didn't Battlefield 6 come out this week? Maybe he's a Battlefield guy now.
I sure hope not.
All right, back to fantasy football conversation. Over on Twitch, Easton 7 goated. Start Scatabo, Saquon, or Rico.
Well,
I was about to say, yeah.
So
I'm hoping this is a week 7 question. Otherwise, your decision is made for you. Unless this is like one of those things where he's popping in a question just to see if somebody's paying attention or knows ball.
We're paying attention.
I would start Scatabo. He had a good game.
Yeah, I would start. I mean, running in, I may have not said start Scatabo, but
the information that I know now, I would start Scatabo and Aldo.
I don't think anybody going to that game would have said.
7.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a week 7 question. I think that Chuba Hubbard comes back week 7, so I would probably.
I'm going Saquon.
Yeah,
it's hard to. You can't sit Saquon. They've got to get back into the run game.
Listen, here's what they're waiting for. Mike McDaniel is going to get fired from Miami. Philly is going to hire him, and then they're just going to get rid of their offensive coordinator, who apparently has a remember the Titans playbook and only has 10 plays in his playbook.
Just give it time, like Novocaine, it'll work.
Fact. Also, sign up for the Rainbow Bowl. I'm running the Remember the Titans League. Bang.
Next year.
Nice.
How come everyone loves Johnny? And I'm like, I feel like I'm the villain on every podcast I go on. Like, I just am like, I'm the ultimate heel right now.
You do bring it upon yourself. I'm right most of the time, and y'all just need to get used to
it. y'all really are a bunch of crybabies out here. Like, it's rough. Like,
man.
You know why? 'Cause you know what it is that so much of this country, like y'all are soft. I'm a Northeasterner. We're gonna give it to you exactly like it is, and y'all are just soft. Like it's just you can't.
Look,
take it.
all I know is Haywood is enjoying the show, fellas. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're getting some entertainment. Keep dropping those questions in the chat.
Haywood G, my dog.
That's him, baby. That's him.
Everyone's
Oh,
like,
that's
Johnny!
funny.
And then they're like, Steve should throw himself off the nearest
Oh,
bridge.
man. Oh.
All right, let's see here. Keep moving. All right, I think we're here. So, all right, looking for a stash. We don't get many stash questions. So stash Luther Burden, Kyle Monangai, or Kendre Miller, or fill the spot with Mason Taylor.
I really don't understand the second part of that question, if we're being honest.
I think he's saying like, so he's got those three, or he's got the potential to stash one of those three on his roster, or he can let them all three roll out and fill the spot with Mason Taylor.
So it's really just
Those four.
Burden, Monangai, Miller, or Mason Taylor.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm taking.
I think given the temperature in New Orleans, there's so much trade talk surrounding Alvin Kamara. Kendre Miller has recently overtaken like the carries in that backfield, and they're not really throwing the ball to Kamara like we thought we would see. He was like one of my top guys for the year, Alvin Kamara, but Kendre is getting a better role. If you look at his avoided tackle rate, it's really impressive. And you know that the Saints, even if the offense isn't good, Kellen Moore is going to find a way to run a lot of plays because that's just his MO. I don't see a spot for Luther Burden this year. Monangai, Swift, I'm not a Swiftie in either regard, to be honest, but it's just I don't have a lot of confidence in that offense. I do like Mason Taylor, but just as like a fantasy Bible of sorts, I don't believe in rostering two tight ends at a time. So it's like either your tight end is good enough or you need to have Mason Taylor be your tight end. There's not really like a need to have both. So Kendre Miller would be my pick.
I'm with you on that, man. Same thing. Yeah, same thing. I mean, playing times went up every single week. And then ironically enough as well, like if you even look on third down, man, like his third down playing percentages went up.
It's
which
weird.
Which is like really weird because that's definitely Alvin Kamara territory. And like feels like Kamara's played some of his last days there in New Orleans, man.
You know, I don't think it's that serious. If like I don't think well this is what I'm saying. So like yes, his snap percentage is going up, but we're talking about like week 3 27%, week 4 31%, week 5 39%. Like he's still yet now maybe this week he crosses the 40% threshold with Kamara a little bit banged up. But the reason that I would agree
How's
is
Kamara banged up. He hasn't touched the ball in like 3 weeks.
And Kendre Miller was in the Allen doghouse for like 3 years.
And like Kamara, man, he's like it's light boxes for him or nothing.
Kamara has
like banged up from.
Kamara had 20 touches 2 weeks ago against Buffalo. Last week he didn't have that many touches, but again he's literally questionable now. Like he's banged up. He's got an ankle injury, and so like, but that's why I lean Miller. I will lean Miller with this conversation as well, and it's just because the freaking running backs are falling off cliffs this year. Like it's just bang up after bang up after banged up. But I will say this: good for New Orleans. The running backs are averaging over 4 yards a carry. Like it doesn't matter. Kamara's averaging over 4 yards a carry for the most part. So I mean, like it's a good world to run the football in down there. Like it could be fine, and I would rather stash them unless this is some crazy like tight end premium.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, so we got another super chat from PC. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you. PPR pick 2. Injured Zay, Golden, Downs, Judy, or Flournoy.
Injured Zay is Zay Flowers, right?
Yes.
Is he hurt?
He's really thinking of putting Zay Jones in the lineup over these guys.
That would be crazy.
What? That'd be crazy work. Crazy work, yo. Crazy.
I didn't think he was like significantly injured enough to be referred to as injured Zay.
He's got a shoulder injury. He's questionable to play currently.
Yeah. I have this theory this week that Cooper Rush is going to have a legacy garbage time game. To Steve's point earlier in the show.
Against the Rams?
I think the Rams are going to go up big. And then Baltimore is going to go in the ultimate garbage time mode. Justice Hill, I think, has a good game. I think Zay Flowers does good in garbage time, but I think it's not going to be close. And it probably will never be close, but they're going to try to get closer. So I think out of these options, Golden, he's getting 4 or 5 targets a game. You can't trust it.
Zay got 5 targets last week.
Huh?
Zay got 5 targets last week.
Right, but he's seen more. Golden has never seen more.
I'm going Downs because he doesn't need a narrative that has to happen in order for him to have a good game.
But has he had a good game yet?
Yeah, he's done all right.
Yeah, no, this is tough work right here, no doubt.
So the person I'm most curious about is Flournoy. Do y'all think that last week the 9 targets was legit? Because that came out of nowhere. Second year player, it was.
I mean, I'm playing him in the Fans Classic. It's 14 teams, so I'm rolling them out there. I'm playing him, so I'll go with him. And then, to your point, man, the rest of these guys are like blah.
I hadn't even heard of him until last week, and I thought it was one of those situations. Like, you ever see when ESPN they'll be like, "Oh, pass complete to," and it's like a defensive player. It's entirely wrong. I thought that's just what kept happening. I'm like, who is this player they've made up? This is a creative player. This man doesn't exist. I've never heard of him.
Yeah. No. Give me the bookends. Give me Zay and give me Ryan from Dallas. I think they need an additional target. We've seen them support George Pickens. We've seen them, Jake Ferguson, tight end 1 on the season. But Dak has done enough to throw the ball to kind of have that third guy. I think Zay gets garbage time points. I think Flournoy gets the points. Judy, I don't think does well against Pittsburgh. Downs, Indy doesn't excite me against Arizona, and Golden, it's just you're banking on a long touchdown to have something happen against Cincy, and we'll see.
So here I think Zay's the automatic. If he plays, he's automatic. Even last week, people were like, "Oh, last week he only had 5 targets." He had 5 catches and he still had over 70 yards, and he still had 12 fantasy points.
Zay is a flex play that you maybe surprises you and does more.
He hasn't been outside of double digits, but 1 game all season. No matter who's throwing him the ball, and obviously,
I guess it's so not sexy. You know what I mean? There is a part of fantasy that you want it to look good, even if it doesn't get you the same amount of points. Watching Cooper Rush throw the ball to Zay Flowers, it just hurts. You know what I mean? It kind of hurts.
The difference is Zay can catch the ball and then he can do something with it afterwards.
He's shifty as hell.
That's why you're
at
in.
the bar. If you're out at the bar,
oh
and
God,
you go,
we have more questions.
Let me just make, and you go home with a 2 or a 10. Right? It still accomplishes the same thing, but
real.
One's a 2 and one's a 10.
No, Zay is not a 2. That's not the conversation.
No, Zay is the 2.
If you were going home with Zay Jones, that's your 2.
No. Zay is the ultimate 2. He looks super great when you're drunk, but in the reality of the situation, he plays in a non-passing first offense, and he has way more bust games than he has boom games. But in the right lighting, he looks hella hot.
But if you take a 2 and hit it 5 times, you get 10. So there you go.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. He wants to hit a 2 5 times rather than 10 once.
Guys, here on the radio, okay?
We're talking about blackjack.
We're talking about Bible study.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Keeping it moving. Okay, so it sounds like Zay, Golden, Flournoy, or Flournoy, Golden. Is that right?
Zay is.
Yeah, it would be those 3. It would be
Zay is a potential. He's questionable to play. So if he doesn't play,
then you go Golden for me.
If he's not playing, you just take the L.
Get out. We don't just take L's. All right. Maybe you just
that ship sank.
All right, keep moving. Let's see. All right. So Jeffrey J. Revere, appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button. I've gotten conflicting advice on this trade question. 12-team PPR. Should I trade Cortland Sutton and Travis Etienne for Nico and Javonte?
What is the conflicting advice? If you're getting bad advice for not hitting the smash on the light, taking that trade, you need new friends. That is an absolute smash of a trade. The wise thing to do there, we know for a fact that Etienne, he hasn't been that much like efficient. They're setting the framework up, maybe not this year, but they want to see what they have in Tootin. Sutton, top 15 wide receiver for the year, right? But at the same time, Nico, top 10 wide receiver, even with the issues that they have on the O-line. And Javonte has been a top 10 running back. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here. Give me the Nico Javonte side 10 times out of 10, twice on Sunday. Even Thursday Night Football, I want that 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to walk away from that one right there. I think Javonte, I'm not quite sure. I feel like he's running back 3 on the year right now.
Miles Sanders just got hurt, and Jadon Blue is going to put on more Louis Vuitton cleats and get blisters.
Yeah,
those did look awesome though.
They look sick. They were. I would have them back here if I could.
Yeah, and I think the other part of this too that like we're like just not to like gloss over is like having BTJ and ETN, like so having 2 Jaguars on your team as well. It's not like that there's anything beneficial from having 2 guys on one team that isn't exactly a potent offense as well.
Could you trade BTJ instead of Sutton?
That would be fire.
There we go. Okay.
Maybe you hold off for the week. I think BTJ has a good game this week. Everybody
it's coming.
I think what people are conflicted about in this trade is Nico, right? Like if you have Nico Collins this year, you're not
happy with it at all.
You're not happy.
Mm-mm.
It's an infuriating experience.
Yeah.
Sutton, you're pretty happy outside of 1 week.
Right.
I can feel that. All right, keeping it moving. Got Tony Romero in the chat. Evening, fellas. 2 questions. Drake May or Caleb Williams?
Ooh.
And then also drop Ollie Gordon for Jadon Blue with Sanders news. Appreciate it.
I said this before, but that Chicago-Washington game is about to be a banger on Monday night. Like, if you're an East Coast dad, you're going to have a bad time because there's going to be so many touchdowns that are scored. We're not getting to bed before midnight.
Yeah.
I have Caleb Williams my quarterback 6 this week. I have Jaden Daniels my quarterback 2 this week. I think Rome is going to have a sick game, and I think that Caleb Williams is going to have a big night too. So I would roll Caleb Williams over Drake May. As far as drop Ollie Gordon for Jadon Blue, you're wishing for the same thing, really. Like Achane is going to be the guy for Miami. I mean, Steve, you could probably speak to that a little bit more. Ollie's kind of had like the pop games because he's kind of like the short yardage guy for them in situations. But Jadon, that offenses look better than we've expected running the ball. I probably lean Blue just because there's this narrative that Achane gets hurt a lot. I don't necessarily believe in that.
I don't think it's necessarily Achane. It's just Mike McDaniel's running backs. But yeah.
But that's just the curse of being affiliated with San Francisco at some point in your life. Like,
yeah, I will say I'd take Drake May. There's something about this Monday night game that just feels like it's such a game for Caleb Williams to like turn into a pumpkin. Like it just feels like those kind of games that Caleb Williams just forgets to show up for. And Monday night games haven't been awesome this season either. There's like something weird going on where Thursday night games are bangers and Monday night games suddenly aren't.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. Someone put a curse on that. I'm gonna roll Drake May because I just think he's safer in general. I would drop. Yeah, I'm dropping Ollie because it seems like the backup in Dallas is just more productive than the backup in Miami right now. And realistically, you don't want someone like Achane is still very valuable because it's not with his rushing ability right now because that line, that offensive line is a wet piece of paper. I mean, they can't block anything. Like it's awful. They couldn't run block a parked car. Like they can't do anything. They are awful.
I love it.
Like so
he's hitting the offensive lineman phrases out there. The coach
like it's just awful. It's so bad. It really is though. Like you watch it and I'm like, man, they are in the backfield every play, and it's just bad. Jadon Blue just has a better opportunity, better team around him. I feel bad for Mike McDaniel, honestly, because I think Miami.
It's a very sick conversation to have because you're like, who is more likely to get injured out of the two is basically what it comes down to, which you never want to wish for, or talk about.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I know I'm actually I'm a big Caleb Williams fan for sure. Was a guy I planted my flag on this year, but I think Drake May, man, like the situation for him is definitely really good because Washington's defensive line, man, like they're pretty good, and that's the one thing that Caleb Williams, man, that really causes a problem for him, man, is any type of pressure. And like, yeah, like this could be a game where he turns into a pumpkin for sure. And then as far as like Gordon and Blue, like I would just say, man, just give me Gordon, man, at this point.
I think the question is that's a little less morbid than like, oh, who gets injured first, is who is more likely to kind of regress to the point that they aren't a definitive starter, Javonte or Devon Achane.
Yeah, that's
And
fair. That's
like
fair.
Javonte has shown us in the past that he's normally not a starting running back in the NFL. So there may be more opportunity if his efficiency dips. Whereas Devon Achane is just he's just going to do what he's going to do.
That's
Yeah.
All right, keeping it moving. Ryan Bear over off Twitch. Thanks for tuning in, man. Subscribe to the channel. We just started growing our Twitch. If you guys have a Twitch account, go over and hit us up over there, and we would sure appreciate it. Start 2, Cortland Sutton, Diggs, Olave. Only concern is Sutton on Sauce Gardner.
Is that a concern this year?
I was about to say, man, it's just a name now.
Pickens baked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sauce's weakness is really physical wide receivers, right? Like big physical wide receivers. He's
Well,
really
the
good
other
against the
thing
speed.
too, if you're going to talk about Sauce, are we not going to talk about Christian Gonzalez? Because that boy is nice.
Yeah, he might not be playing, man, this week. I think I seen him pop up on the injury.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with his bum hamstring again. So.
Oh my God, I'd go those first two. I'm not really on Olave just because I don't know why. It just doesn't look good.
Spencer Rattler is why.
Yeah,
No,
well,
Spencer Rattler's playing fine. All right,
yeah.
we gotta defend Spencer Rattler a little bit this year. That
Oh,
he is not
God,
the
here we
problem with the
go.
Saints.
No, he's played all right. I will go with you on that one, Steve. Like, he has played all right. You look up and all of a sudden, man, like I think it was like 5 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns and 1 pick. And then I think Olave, he might be leading the league in targets still. At some point, man, like you got to think like it's going to pop.
Chris Olave is
I
second
thought?
in the league again for wide receivers and expected fantasy points per game.
Yeah. What was the stat I saw? Like Chris Olave was on pace for like 210 targets and like
Yeah,
900 yards.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I would go the first 2. I think the Diggs connection with May, like that's a must start.
Yeah.
If you are that worried about Sauce, like they're Sutton and Olave. I think Sutton probably has a little bit of the edge, but yeah, you're in a similar wide receiver 2 predicament, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Millie Mills in the chat. What's up, fellas? Thanks for tuning in.
Also, Rise Up. That was a Atlanta Falcon shout out. Can we talk about how sick those jerseys are and why are they not the all the time jerseys? The red helmets are fire.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's see here. Keep moving. So, what does another great game for Rashad White mean for Bucky Irving's value? Nothing, in my opinion.
That's a George
Did
Pickens
he have an
quote.
awesome game? Didn't he have 4 carries?
Yeah, I mean, he predominantly got his Rashad White was predominantly like a PPR machine last week. But they clearly have a defined role for both of them. If you look even back to last year, Rashad White actually had a lot of top 24 finishes because they use Bucky as the lead back, but he still gets the action. They have a lot of faith in him. He's not an efficient runner per se, but they have a role for him. It keeps Bucky fresh. So it's not going to change anything for them. They know what they have.
Yep.
Rashad White hasn't averaged over 3 yards a carry in the last 3 games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you're not worried about that.
Even the year that he was a top 5 running back, he was under 4.
Wildly
way
inefficient.
more explosive.
Wildly inefficient.
You're hoping for a touchdown.
It was a Chase Brown kind of thing where it was like you weren't efficient, but you were the bell cow. And then they found somebody who was more efficient.
Rashad White is touchdown dependent at the end of the day. You got to hope he gets in the end zone. The only 2 games that he's had in double-digit points, he got in the end zone. Week 2, and he had 14 points. And then last week, he got in the end zone twice. He still only ran for 41 yards on, 14 carries?
Yeah, well, if Bucky's out, he's a must start because they're like Sean Tucker's a solid piece, but they're going to give White way more
Right,
work.
but the question is, what is Rashad White?
Nothing.
I'm so fascinated by this person's profile. I'm so sorry. Like the Boston Strangler, and then their profile picture is just Beaker from the Muppets. I'm like obsessed with that.
Muppet is also a top 5 like insult. Like you Muppet, like that's just legendary.
Oh, it's a great one.
So had to trade Henry away. Ended up with Flowers and Monty.
It's not
I
terrible.
I think he's
Yeah,
all
you
right.
didn't do bad. It was all right. Boston Strangler. If the Vikings decide to start McCarthy over Wentz, does that make JJ non-dynasty trade? Does that make JJ non-dynasty trade?
Probably.
So
like,
would you, if they bench JJ full, like if they bench McCarthy full time, does that change the opinion on the discussion before about the value? Like if Carson Wentz becomes the starter for the rest of the year, would you still trade Jettas?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, no. If JJ McCarthy starts,
I don't think that's
Justin
the question,
Jefferson's
though.
value goes down. If JJ starts, Justin Jefferson's value will drop. If McCarthy starts, you trade
Wentz.
Jefferson.
So Wentz or McCarthy, like that's
If
what
Wentz is starting, you roll with JJ. If McCarthy's starting, you trade JJ as a high as a sell high.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what he's saying.
I got you.
All right. So hopefully that answers the question. That's been a volatile conversation tonight as far as like what to do with JJ. And it's because, let me tell you this. If you're rarely in your leagues does somebody actually trade away a name. Like somebody you go like Derrick Henry, yeah, you go trade away Derrick Henry because he's had like 3 weeks of garbage, right? But like a JJ, even Jamar Chase, like most people don't deal with those people. So the fact that like if somebody comes to you and they say, hey, I want JJ, okay, like milk it. You know what I'm saying? Like see what you can get. You may turn out better, like is what it is.
That's how I got Bijan.
How you got Bijan. There you go. I would take Bijan.
I would cry if somebody did that.
If somebody traded Bijan for JJ?
If someone was like, hey, I'll give you Bijan for pretty much any player.
Anything.
Yeah.
It was
I'm like,
so what I did, I am a like vulture in the world of fantasy, and this team was just tanking, and he had Bijan, and I'm like, I can save you. I'll pull you out of the depths. I'll send you 3 players. All you got to do is send me Bijan and Tyler Warren. And I sent him Waddle, Sutton, and Kamara.
You're a sick man.
Still,
man.
You're a sick man.
Man.
It's beautiful.
Man.
Word to string a bell on that one.
All right. Are top pick running backs more valuable than top wide receivers right now? Could this be a 2026 trend and a throwback to the old days, running back heavy? Look, I can tell you this, and I'll speak from experience because I typically.
How many was it in a row? 8, 9?
It was 7. I went 7 running backs in a row. I typically draft running back heavy, and this year I took it to an extreme because typically, and I did land Igbuka in a lot of leagues. I landed, these players that are coming out later, so I'm still competing, but it's been a tough year for running backs and being able to have stability, really in any position, but especially running backs. And, you find more people like those guys that went wide receiver heavy, significant outside of Malik and Tyreek, like CD's banged up, but he's going to come back, like the people that went wide receiver heavy, they're scooping up guys on the waivers. They've been scooping up guys on the waivers. They had all the handcuffs that are now getting, they had Scatabo, they had these handcuffs that are now getting significant playing time. And so this year was a little bit different where I think I would have rather had some really premium wide receivers outside of maybe like a more of a hero running back. Like I wanted a CMC, I wanted a Bijan, I wanted somebody like that if I could get them. And then you should have went wide receiver. And that's just my opinion. I'm currently in several leagues fighting back from a running back heavy approach that bit a little bit. So, and the wide receiver heavy guys, they landed on Javonte Williams, who's showing out. They landed on these players that went late that are now, significantly doing well. They didn't spend an early pick on Chase Brown, or Derrick Henry.
If you drafted Chase number 1, then you're probably hurting. If you were at the back end and you drafted Brian Thomas, you're probably hurting. But if you took Puka, then
right
you're
now,
probably loving life.
Yeah, I think right now I would say the top 5 it's Puka as the most valuable player in fantasy across the board. And the next 4 are probably running backs. So I think running back is still king. Because it's probably like what CMC, James Cook,
James Jonathan Taylor.
JT,
and then probably JSN.
maybe JSN, maybe like who's the number 2 wide receiver right now in fantasy? You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
I would still say I would put Bijan in that list.
Yeah, Bijan. That's what I'm saying. Is it's Puka and then a bunch of running backs and then like wide receivers fall in. So it kind of it does depend. I think top pick running backs are still more valuable on the whole. It's just the injuries that everyone worries about with running backs is kind of coming to fruition this year in a very.
And last year, wide receivers got hammered with injuries. I think it was the most injured year in like 10 years for like top 24 running back or top 24 wide receivers out of the draft.
It's just another stat point that like fantasy, while yes, there is some skill involved, a lot of it is luck because you don't know that like, God forbid anyone plays at MetLife Stadium, they're probably blowing out an ACL. So
I blew out an ACL watching a game on Amazon Prime at MetLife.
Guys, we're gonna rapid fire some questions. I'm gonna throw you a singular question. You give your answer, and we go. Word. It's the 10 o'clock hour. We're gonna give them 4 more minutes of questions. We've got several to roll through. I just want to try to hit some more for you guys that popped in late. Try to hop in earlier into the stream. We're here every Friday at 9 o'clock Central to get to your questions. All right. So Joe, start us off. Flex PPR, Bourne or Jennings if he plays.
You got to go with the incumbent starter, Jennings. He is going to play this week. I like him better than Bourne.
All right. Steve, trade Puka, Swift, Ridley for JT, Bucky, and Adams.
Ooh.
Other wide receivers are Nico, Waddle, Olave, Ridley. Other running backs are Javonte, Etienne, Monty, and White.
No. Nope. Hold Puka. Hold.
It's kind of I agree a little bit. It's kind of a hold just on the fact that
his team is so good.
I would do it. JT, Bucky, and Adams for Puka and some change. Easy take.
Easy money.
The problem is his wide receivers take such a hit. That's the only thing. Like
you're getting Adams back though. You're getting Devontae.
You don't want Devontae.
Yeah, so you're rolling Nico, Devontae, and hoping you win. If it's one flex, then JT, Bucky, Javonte, Etienne, Monty, you've got 2 wasted players.
Puka is such a cheat code right now. You got to roll with Puka. Like, he's the best player in fantasy.
Now, I do like the value. Like, JT is fire. Bucky will be fire. I just worry.
Bucky could be fire, but remember, lower extremity injuries are very tricky when it comes to the running back position.
All right, Tyler, this is rapid fire mode, bro. We got to keep going.
The only reason that we're really worried about it is because the wide receivers are so weak. I mean, you don't have any top 20. You got Nico's at 20.
Bucky and Olave for an elite wide receiver. Go get it.
Last word.
Yeah. All right. Thoughts on AJ Brown, Saquon? Any optimism, Johnny Main?
Nope, and I love both of these guys, and I'm sad.
You're one of those living in depression this year.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Better end of bench wide receiver. Better end of bench wide receiver PPR and points per first down. Mooney or Coker. So I guess who's a stash? He has London, Tet, Burden. They're 2 behind DJ Moore and Rome. Who do you want, Mooney or Coker?
Coke on my head. Don't call me a cokehead. Give me Jalen Coker. I think that he's going to be a PPR machine. I just don't have a lot of faith in Michael Penix. So not that I have a lot of faith in Bryce Young either, but I just think that Coker has a more likely path to being second on his team in targets. Kyle Pitts has been low-key balling in terms of like his ability to have production. So I think that Mooney becomes the 3rd target. Coker could be the 2nd target. It's going to be Tet. Then it's going to be Coker. And then it's going to be Sanders. So give me Coker.
Man, no love for Leggett after his touchdown.
I do love Leggett in his deep voice, though. It's a sweet accent.
All right. Steve, what's your projections for Rashee Rice, and is he a godsend?
Yes.
I think he could be. Yeah, I think it's more likely than not that he takes over as the number 1 there, and they funnel targets his way because no one else is getting anything done in a consistent manner.
Million Mills. Hey, Tyler, don't judge me too bad, but 2 weeks ago I traded T for Golden. I'm banking on a playoff breakout for him, and plus I was just tired of Higgy.
I like that.
I don't hate the deal. T's just not been that. They're going to be without Burrow. It's going to be a hot mess. I do like it. I do like T better with Flacco, but nobody knew Flacco was going there. I still think Golden could have a big play any given week. So I don't hate the deal. It's fine. Good job. All right. Start 2, Jason Ortiz, Johnny, Pittman, Jalen Waddle, Rico, Jalen Warren.
I'm definitely going to go Rico, and I'm going to I'll go Jalen Waddle this week, man. I think an upset's brewing there against the Chargers.
Ooh.
All right, so I'm just gonna do quick to Joe. Any take? I know you're high on Pittman.
No, I like it. I have Waddle ranked ahead of Pittman just because of the wide receiver 1 opportunity.
All right, Steve, start 1. Ertz, Tongas, AJ Barner.
Tongas.
Agreed. All right, Joe, Ladd, Sutton, London, Myers.
All right, so there's 4 names there. So who am I gonna sit? Let's see. Probably McConkey. I have him and Myers ranked 1 spot against each other. But I think Myers, just because Brock Bowers been ruled out, he's gonna get some more targets. So that's really the only reason that I have.
All right, Johnny, Juwan, Mason Taylor, Ertz.
I'm gonna go with Zach Ertz on Monday Night Football, man.
All right. Here, need upside maybe. I used Robinson, and I'm upset at starting running back Barkley already. Kyron, White, Rico, Javonte, Swift, Carter. Start 3. I think it's Kyron, Rico, Javonte.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, and then we're gonna hit this last question right here, and then let's see. Is Mason Taylor more valuable than Trey McBride right now? The answer to that is no. And last question of the night. Appreciate all y'all tuned in. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Appreciate you every week. So one of 4 do I hold? Which one of 4 do I hold on this team?
No. He's 1 and 4. Do I hold on this team?
No.
Oh, Baker.
How are you
Genty,
1 and 4? Who are you playing against?
Baker. Well, it took a while for Judkins to get in. Adams is up and down.
Yeah, but I
probably played Ridley a bunch of weeks.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Nico's been slow.
Yeah, look, I think you're fine. I think you're fine going through the end of the season. Genty, Judkins are going to be fine. Igbuka's going to be fine.
I'd see if I can sell high on Igbuka at this point.
I don't think he really has to. Then you got Nico sitting on the bench. So Nico and Adams are interchangeable. McBride, JCM in the flex, or to me, Benson when he gets back, or Henderson. All those are options. But every week you're rolling out Baker, Genty, Judkins, Igbuka, and either Adams or Nico. McBride, JCM. I'm good with that roster. I think
just got to get in, baby.
I think that could lead you to a ship. I think you can come back.
Yeah, just got to get in.
And T. Higgins over Travis Hunter in PPR. That's not even a question.
Hey, look, man, he could wake up. Who knows? Hey, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you coming in this week. We will see you next week, 9:00 Central. We're here every Friday night. If you're not on a date, you're here with us talking fantasy football. We'll see you next week. Peace. Have a good week. We hope you win. Later.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.